ഹായ് ഫ്രണ്ട്സ്, ഈ വീഡിയോ നോക്കുന്നത് കേരള അഡ്മിനിസ്ട്രേറ്റീവ് സർവീസ് KAS അതിൻ്റെ മെയിൻ എക്സാമിനേഷൻ്റെ ഡീറ്റെയിൽഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള സിലബസ് ആണ്. KASൻ്റെ മെയിൻ എക്സാമിൻ്റെ ഡീറ്റെയിൽ സിലബസ് നമുക്ക് നോക്കാം. 3 പേപ്പറാണ് ആദ്യമുള്ളത്. ജനറൽ സ്റ്റഡീസ് പേപ്പർ 1 2 മണിക്കൂറിൻ്റെ എക്സാം ആയിരിക്കും, 100 മാർക്ക്. ജനറൽ സ്റ്റഡീസ് പേപ്പർ 2 2 മണിക്കൂറിൻ്റെ എക്സാം, 100 മാർക്ക്. ജനറൽ സ്റ്റഡീസ് പേപ്പർ 3 2 hours, 100 മാർക്ക്. ജനറൽ സ്റ്റഡീസ് പേപ്പർ 1 വരുന്ന 100 മാർക്കിൻ്റെ എക്സാം, 2 മണിക്കൂർ എക്സാം. പാർട്ട് എ ഹിസ്റ്ററി ഇന്ത്യ ആൻഡ് കേരള. അതിലൊന്നാമത്തെ ആൻഷ്യൻ ആൻഡ് മിഡിവൽ പീരീഡ്. സാലിയൻറ്റ് ഫീച്ചേഴ്സ് ആൻഡ് മേജർ ലാൻഡ്മാർക്സ് ഓഫ് ആൻഷ്യൻ്റ് ആൻഡ് മെഡിവൽ ഇന്ത്യ. ആർട്ട്, കൾച്ചർ, ലിറ്ററേച്ചർ ആൻഡ് ആർക്കിടെക്ചർ. മേജർ ഡൈനാസ്റ്റീസ്, their administrative system, social, religious and economic conditions, prominent movements. രണ്ടാമത്തെ മോഡേൺ പീരീഡ്. മോഡേൺ ഇന്ത്യൻ ഹിസ്റ്ററി ഫ്രം ദ 18th century up to the present. Significant events, personalities and issues. India struggle for independence. Social and religious reform movements in the 19th and 20th century. India after independence, post-independent consolidation and reorganization. Independent India and her neighbors. മൂന്നാമത്തെ കേരള ഹിസ്റ്ററി ഫ്രം 18th century. Pre-independence social, socio-political movements. Formation of Kerala state, political parties, movements, governments, landmark legislation and policies. Part B history of the world from mid 18th century. Industrial Revolution, World Wars, redrawal of national boundaries, colonization and decolonization, globalization, communism, capitalism, socialism, their forms and effects in society. Part C cultural heritage of Kerala. Cultural heritage of Kerala, art forms, literature, sculpture, architecture, salient features of society, Kerala tribal culture, pilgrims, tourist place, folk culture, cinema, theatre. History and evolution of Malayalam language and literature. Paper 2 General Studies 100 മാർക്കിൻ്റെ എക്സാം, 2 മണിക്കൂർ. പാർട്ട് എയിൽ ഇന്ത്യൻ കോൺസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂഷൻ, പബ്ലിക് അഡ്മിനിസ്ട്രേഷൻ, പൊളിറ്റിക്കൽ സിസ്റ്റം, ഗവേണൻസ്, social justice and international relations. Indian Constitution, its salient features, responsibilities of the Union and the states, Parliament and state legislature, structure, function, power and privileges, issues and challenges pertaining to federal structure, devolution of power and finance up to local levels and challenges therein. Constitutional authorities, powers, functions and responsibilities. Panchayati Raj, public policy and governance. Impact of LPG on governance. Statutory, regulatory and Quasi judicial bodies. Right issues, human right, women rights, SC/ST rights, child rights, etc. Important acts. India's foreign policy. International organizations, international treaties and forms, their structure and mandate, judiciary in India, structure and functions, important provisions relating to emergency and constitutional amendments, judicial review, public interest litigation, land revenue laws, fundamental rights, fundamental duties and directive principles. Principles of administrative law. Part B science and technology. Science and technology, nature and scope of science and technology, relevance of S&T, national policy on S&T and innovations, basics of everyday science, human body, public health and community medicines, food and nutrition, health care, Institute of Organization in India promoting integration of S&T and innovation, their activities and contributions. Contributions of prominent India scientist. ICT, natural and scope of ICT, ICT in day-to-day life, ICT and industry, ICT and governance. Various government schemes promoting use of ICT, e-governance programs and services. Etiquettes, cyber security concerns, National Cyber Crime Policy, MIS, artificial intelligence, benefits and impacts, robotics, technology in space and defense, evaluation of Indian space programs, ISRO, its activities and achievements, various satellites, programs, DRDO, vision, mission and activities, energy requirements and efficiency, India's exciting energy needs and deficit, India's energy resource and dependence, renewable and non-renewable energy resources, energy policy of India, government policies and programs, energy security and nuclear policy of India, environmental science, issues and concerns related to environment, its legal aspects, policies and treaties for the protection of environment at the national and international level, environment protection for sustainable development, biodiversity, its importance and concerns, climate change, international initiatives, policies, protocols, and India's commitment, Western Ghats, features, characteristics, and issues, forest and wildlife, legal framework for forest and wildlife conservation in India, environmental hazards, pollution, carbon emission, global warming, national action plans on climate change and disaster management, developments in biotechnology, green technology and nanotechnology, current issues in given topics. Then paper 3, General Studies, Part A, Economy and Planning. Indian economy on the eve of independence. Indian economy in post-reform period. New economic reforms. Niti Aayog, national income and per capita income. Sectoral comparison, composition, output and employment. Primary, secondary and tertiary. Development under different policy regimes, including 5-year plans, goals, constraints, institutions and policy framework. Agriculture sector, land reforms in India, technological change in agriculture, major crops and cropping patterns in the various part of the country, irrigation, pricing of agriculture, inputs and outputs, agriculture finance policy and marketing, issues in food security and public distribution system, green revolution, policies for sustainable agriculture and organic farming, industrial policy, public sector enterprises and their performance, growth and pattern of industrialization, small scale sector, productivity in industrial sector, cess and industrialization, foreign investment and competition policy, e-commerce, effects of liberalization of the economy, infrastructure in Indian economy, meaning and importance of infrastructure, water supply and sanitation, energy and power, science and technology, rural and urban infrastructure, ports, roads, airports, railways, telecommunication, dams, inland waterways, social impact assessment, trends and patterns in structure of population over time, growth rate, gender, rural urban migration, literacy, regional structure and trends of poverty and inequality, unemployment, trends, structure and national rural employment policies, indicators of development, physical quality of life index, human development index, human poverty index, gender development index, national happiness index, Indian public finance, government budgeting, Indian tax system, public expenditure, public debate, deficit and subsidies in the Indian economy, central state financial relation, recent fiscal and mandatory policy issues and their impact, Structure of Indian banking and non-banking financial institutions and reforms. GST concept and implications. Stock exchange and share market. Trend, composition, structure and direction of India's foreign trade. India's balance of payments situation in post-reform period. Economy of Kerala, state and overview. Population, major agriculture. Industry, service sector issues. Infrastructure and resources. Major development project. Programs and schemes. Cooperative sector, history and relevant policies in traditional industries. IT sector, Pravasi and foreign remittance. Kerala model development. Land reforms, social security, devolution of power, decentralized planning, housing, tourism, women empowerment, social welfare schemes, disaster management, role and function of Kerala Planning Board, achievements of Kerala and health and education sector, policies, programs, initiatives and impacts. Geography, Part B, Geography. General Geography, solar system, motion of earth, concept of time, seasons, international structure of the earth, major landforms and their features, atmosphere, structure and composition, elements and factors of climate, air masses and forms, atmospheric disturbance, oceans, physical, chemical and biological characteristics, hydrological disaster, marine and continental resources, physical, social, economic geography of world, Indian Kerala, geographical phenomena like earthquake, tsunami, volcanoes, cyclone, flood, landslides. Current issues in economy and planning and geography. മൊത്തത്തിൽ പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ലോകത്തിലെ എല്ലാ കാര്യങ്ങളും പഠിച്ചിരിക്കണം. സെക്കൻഡ് ചാൻസിലേക്ക് വന്നവരെല്ലാവരും നന്നായിട്ട് പഠിക്കുക. ഓൾ ദ വെരി ബെസ്റ്റ്. നിങ്ങളാണ് ഇനി കേരളത്തെ നിയന്ത്രിക്കേണ്ടത്.